everyone, welcome to Hub and Spoke Sparks, presented by the J. Hurt Hub for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Davidson College. I'm Jared Hurt, Davidson class of 2022, and the Gig Hub media producer here at the Hurt Hub. Hub and Spoke Sparks are 10-minute interviews with a variety of subjects, and hopefully they'll be able to spark some innovation or inspiration in your career or even your day-to-day life. Well, welcome to Hub and Spoke. Thank you very much for joining us today. I was wondering, Chris, if you could talk a little bit about your time at Davidson and how that sort of launched you into what you're doing now.
Yeah, so I went to Davidson to a class of 2014. Studied economics and also played football. Was part of Phi Delt, so football kept me very much on track with everything. Yeah. I owe my academic success really to that, of just holding me accountable. And so I studied economics, and I really wanted at the time to get into finance, and I did. I went into investment banking after school, and did that for a couple of years, and kind of realized I wanted to be in more of a people-facing role, and wanted to get into technology. I didn't know what that meant at the time. Yeah. Davidson didn't have this resource when I was here. I wish it had. I actually had kind of lobbied for something similar, like an entrepreneurship center, and so I got into technology after finance, moved to Chicago, and got into the cloud technology space. I realized that the cloud was just a bunch of servers sitting inside some building called a data center, and then joined a data center real estate investment trust in Chicago, and helped with the launch of a new data center in the Sun-Times printing press, which was pretty cool.
Very nice.
And so I mean, after that I got into branched off on my own, and now ever since, for the past 4 years or so, I've been doing consulting and advising for startups, early and growth stage, and then a variety of other organizations, nonprofits, government agencies, figuring it out. But Davidson really taught me the ability to, taught me how to look at any problem and try to come up with a solution. And so it's made me versatile, if anything else, and not pigeonhole me in any way.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm on the swim team, so
nice.
I get that scholar athlete experience for sure. It's pretty unparalleled in college. I feel like at Davidson it's a really cool experience, getting to do two things you're interested in.
Yeah, definitely.
So we like to talk about innovation a lot here at the Hurt Hub. How would you sort of describe innovation, and maybe how do you try to incorporate that into your career?
Yeah, so innovation is it's obviously a big term that packs a punch. It can mean a lot of different things. I think people, when they think about innovation, they think about the really sexy form of innovation, like a new product, a new some new solution, right? But there's many different forms of innovation. The organizational structure, the legal structure could be a form of innovation. Your business model is a form of innovation. I think so. At a high level, people get enamored by a product or a service, but there's many different ways that one can innovate. I think at a philosophical level, and this is to date, so my philosophies are ever changing, but innovation is adaptability. Our world is increasingly complex, and it's moving faster than ever. I mean, I feel that even as someone who works with a ton of startups, and I'm humbled every time I'm presented with something I've never even seen before or know nothing about. But then their space is changing so fast, and you've even seen that reflected in the corporate lifespan. I think is now, it used to be in like 1950, it used to be 60 years, and now it's, I think, less. It's like 15 years. And so to me, innovation is just about your adaptability. Are you resilient? Are you agile? And can you take in information, new information, and respond to that? And so I think, ultimately innovation comes down to how fast can you change, but then it's also a matter of complexity. So you have everything is so interwoven and interconnected, and so that's enabled by innovation, right? Technology. We can see what's happening in all different, many different countries or cities and industries, and so it's I think some sort of equation of adaptability and your interconnectivity. Most things can't be most innovation moving forward isn't going to be software. It's going to be ag tech and med tech and things that you can't just create something and release into the wild. You have to work with complex stakeholders and figure out what they really need help with.
Yeah, absolutely. So one final question is, we're thinking about students that might be watching this, just like you were not too long ago. What advice would you have for them as they're starting off on their new career path after college?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm not ready for this question yet. So I think self-awareness is maybe the greatest tool anyone can have. When I graduated school, I was pursuing a path that I thought I wanted, but when I really realized who I am and what I'm good at, there's not as much overlap as certainly not enough to make me pursue it. Now it gave me a great foundation, my first career to do other things thereafter. But I think my greatest piece of advice would be to really take stock of who you are, and if you don't know, if you don't have answers when you start to ask yourself those questions of like, who am I really? What am I good at? What do I like to do? And it can be themes like I like talking to people. That's a great place to start. Or I like solving problems and diving deep on something. Or I'm very technical. I like I'm someone who goes down YouTube rabbit holes, and and depending on what those are going to illuminate a lot about you. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's just try to take stock of who you are and treat everything, your first job to your 10th job, treat it as like an experiment, and each step you take in your journey post Davidson is helping you get closer to something that's ultimately going to be something that gives you a sense of fulfillment, which I think is ultimately what everyone is after in the working world. Is just they want to do something that they feel good about doing. And so it's just being self-aware, constantly checking in with yourself, and not doing something, not pursuing a career because that's what you think you should be doing. Because I have a lot of friends who have, myself included, have had to take a big step back at some point and been like, whoa, I actually don't think this is the direction I want to go. And I think the way to, or self-awareness is the key to, making sure you're at least headed roughly in the direction you want to be going.
Yeah. Well, Chris, thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.